Hello and welcome to Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. Well, hello, Mrs. Farmer. Where did you come from?
You know me. If
You
there's
snuck
food,
up on me.
I snuck up.
All right. Today we're in a cabin. We can barely make it here because of the rain.
That's right.
We would like to be cooking outside
That's yucky and rainy.
over the campfire, and we just can't. It breaks our heart. But you know what? Cameras aren't made for the rain.
That's right.
So anyhow, we're back in the cabin. Now we're in a unique situation where we're tearing our kitchen apart. Here's a couple
mess.
pictures of, it looks like a bombed out shelter.
Yes, it does.
It's in horrific shape. We're gonna try to do a show there, but it was just awful. Since our kitchen is destroyed, what can we fix that we can eat day after day, like leftover type
Right.
things? Now, something I like, something you like, you like more than I do, is meatloaf.
Right. I do love meatloaf.
Something in our oven's ripped up. Every source of cooking we have
Right.
is just absolutely destroyed. So, what are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna smoke
cook
some
on?
stuff.
We're gonna smoke some stuff. And you know what? You can cook anything on a smoker. I have a couple smokers. I'm playing with the Traeger now, and I'm finding this interesting, and it does things that I really like because I can get the temperature up there, up to 450.
Right.
A lot of smokers you can't do there. You know, you're talking 275 max. So if you have a smoker that you can get up to those higher temperatures, wow, you can do a chicken, which we did not too long ago. Take a look at this. Hands off.
Poor Holly.
Listen to Holly. I hope the mic's picking up and you can hear Kelly's spoiled brat Holly.
She knows Kelly's here.
No, she's here. She's waiting for a
Okay.
snack. But where was I? I like to get those temperatures up. If you want to cook something at 350, 350 is 350,
Right.
whether it's in your oven or whatever. But if it's in a smoker, it's going to have a smoked taste. 350 is 350, Dutch oven,
Right.
smoker. So I started thinking, we're going to see Nick this weekend. And you know what Nick likes?
Jerky.
He loves jerky.
Yes, he does.
You know, and I'm not knocking any particular brands or anything, but you start looking at some of the ingredients in jerky. Pretty
Not
scary.
good.
Pretty scary. A lot of nitrates, whatever. So I'm gonna make some today. Now we've already used all our venison up for other things. You can use, this is my venison recipe. We're gonna use it. We got some beef.
Right.
Remember, you're starting to see a pattern here in our shows. Remember I've Round a couple weeks ago? I had
Guy
this
Round,
out.
yeah.
That was my idea.
Being nice.
We made some sandwiches for you, and then I'm gonna use the other one for this. It was on sale. So if you start seeing a theme on our show, you say, okay, wait a minute. Last week, your French dip, you had red wine, you had bouillon, and you had, wait a minute, the following week we did the venison. You see how you find out things apply themselves here and there.
Right.
If it works over here, it might
Right.
work over here. But say you want a piece of jerky.
That's the best jerky ever. I like that a
Would
lot.
you like one, Mrs.
I
Farmer?
would. It's really good.
Here, look at that.
Wow.
It looks like jerky from the store.
Is this all you have left from the other day? You ate a lot of it, didn't you?
When you don't have a kitchen,
Wow.
or if you just want some quick protein, it's so handy to have something around. You know what's in it? Oh.
That's really good. Really tasty.
All right, let's get to it. This is so simple. Now, you talk about continuing patterns. You see things here, you see it there. You think about the brines that I use for my turkey
Right.
or my smoked trout. What do I use? Soy, Worcestershire, garlic, black pepper, kosher salt. Very similar. Garlic.
Right.
So what's happening now? Very similar to that. This is a marinade, or a brine, whatever you want to call it, that we're going to soak our jerky in. Maybe bottom rounds for sale.
Could you do deer?
Maybe you've got some deer meat left over.
Roast or
That's
steaks.
jerky.
Yeah.
Look, cut them in about 1/4 inch. The great thing about it, if you do with beef, which we're doing tonight, is go to your butcher and say, hey, now this is going to shrink up, remember that. Go to your butcher and say, hey, I want it 1/4 inch. And some of these are a little bit thicker than 1/4. But when I like jerky, I don't want it to be brittle and
Right.
break off and get stuck in between my teeth. I like it to have some moisture in it. This is a quick turnaround too. After the marinade, 2 hours in your smoker, regardless of what smoker you have. 2 hours at 225.
You got a snack.
Are you kidding me?
It was good.
We're gonna take that, Nikki, and we're just gonna split these in half.
Okay.
Now this cute little knife that we've been using, everybody's saying, what kind of knife is that? Now, it's not a sponsor, it's not anybody. We just found these in Stanford. There's a little store down there that carries Rada. Now this is stuff you can find all over the place, R-A-D-A. Usually I'll do double of this. This is a half a recipe. We've already done one batch. We did one the other night. And Nick likes to eat a lot.
There'll be enough for him to eat a
This is
few.
enough for him to eat at one setting.
That's right.
So, Mrs. Farmer, if you will, let's go 3/4 cup Worcestershire. Our soy sauce, 3/4.
Right.
Now, if I was doing it in my oven, and I wanted to get a little more smoky taste, liquid smoke, I would put a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and put some in there anyway. Just a tad, just about that much exactly. All right, so we're getting our salty base in there. Now let's come in with some sweet.
Okay.
And I want 3 tablespoons of, I'm gonna put light brown sugar in here. All right, then I'm gonna come back with 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. You got the salt, you got the soy, you got the Worcestershire, so you've got some good preserving agents in there. Again though, I'm not saying take this out on the trail with you and you know, walk to Canada and back and you're just gonna be fine. This is to eat. Put it in the refrigerator, take it out as you need it.
Right.
All right, from there, we're gonna go to 1 teaspoon of onion powder and 1 teaspoon of garlic powder.
All right.
Now, here's where it gets interesting. Last time, I did just a shake.
Taste it.
I covered the top. Now, some people would probably use a teaspoon. I didn't do that. This is probably a 1/4 of a teaspoon. Then with black pepper,
Okay.
let's go 2 tablespoons. Now, that's gonna bring some heat in right there. If you wanted to, and I do, usually this would be done if you're making more of a Korean teriyaki. But I like a little texture and I like the look of just a little bit of sesame seed.
I like
on it.
sesame
It
seeds.
adds a little crunch.
Yeah, I like that.
Guess what, Mrs. Farmer?
What?
We're there.
Looks good. Smells good. It's got a good smell to it.
Now that may seem like a lot of black pepper, but since they caught Glenn, there's some more pepper in the market now, thank goodness.
Yeah, that's right. That's good.
You know what, now look at here. Now you know that's gonna shrink up some. 225 degrees. We're just gonna drop this in here. We're gonna let it get acquainted. We're gonna let it get amongst itself. But then, Mrs. Farmer, if you will, go ahead and start stirring that up.
Ready?
And then, of course, we're just gonna take a plastic bag. And there's different amounts of time. This pulls this salt in pretty quick. I usually go for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours. And that's adequate to me. You can let it go all night if you want. Ooh, look at that piece. I want that piece when it
Nice
goes
big
down.
piece.
All right, let's take that and let's pour that in that bag.
Ready?
Now, let's take that bag, Nikki, and mash it all up together. We're gonna stick that in the fridge for 4 to 5 hours. 225, get it warmed up, get it heated up, get it ready to go. Pop them in there, lay them on the grill. You want your grill to be open, just
Right.
lay them on your surface. 225 degrees. Here's the great part. 2 hours. 2 hours
You
at
got a snack,
225. You've got a snack. So there's breakfast.
Okay.
Just that easy. Nothing to it. Ooh, it's sitting there looking at me. I could eat every bit of that, and I probably will throughout the show.
Okay.
Because it's gonna tell me to stop chewing and talk. So, meatloaf. I thought, okay, let's take meatloaf and do it on my terms. I want it to have a good smoky barbecue-y flavor.
You like that, don't you?
So let's get the jerky stuff out of the way, pull the meatloaf stuff up, and I'm gonna show you a barbecue meatloaf that's out of this world.
Yummy.